Hey there guys, what's going on? Today we had a mini update in Modern Warfare, one of those updates that applies automatically so you don't have to download anything. Not even a strangely large 48GB patch for basically nothing like the 1.13 title update. Anyway, this is a relatively small update, so it won't take us that long to get through all the changes, but it's some pretty noticeable stuff in these patch notes here. So in today's update, we've got a few changes to the playlist, which is Infinity Ward set in a dev blog the other day, would take place on Tuesdays or Wednesdays if you're Australian like me. Major updates typically happen on Thursdays or Fridays for me as well, depending on the time they go up. So this isn't a massive patch, but it's still going to be quite impactful, I imagine. But just before we get into the patch notes here, let's try and get this one to 5 likes. I've been absolutely loving all the support recently. All the new people around leaving likes and comments is absolutely heartwarming. Unbelievable stuff here. So make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on if you haven't done it already. It really does only take 2 seconds to make my day with something like that. So let us talk about this patch. So like I said, this isn't going to be a super long video, but we've got some fairly important changes here. Starting with the playlist updates, Deathmatch Domination has been added, which I believe was a game mode from Black Ops 4 that has been added to this game, and apparently it's loads and loads of fun. If you've ever complained about your teammates not playing the objective in Domination, which I know you have because everyone has been there, that's literally everyone, complain no longer. In Deathmatch Domination, it's a combination of Team Deathmatch and Domination, obviously, meaning that you'll score points for getting kills, and you'll actually score points as well for capturing the flags and things like that. So you can actually participate in the game just by killing dudes. So if you're not an objective player, you'll actually be helping. Gunfight Custom has been added, which has replaced the previous 3 vs 3 game mode. What this is regular gunfight, except you can take your own custom classes in. So a little bit of a change away from the regular and the OST variants. There should be loads of sweaty classes in there, so expect to see a lot of M4s, a lot of MP5s, a lot of really sweaty classes in there. People always seem to get super upset about the game modes changing over, but it'll be back, don't worry. If 3v3 was your favourite game mode, don't worry, it'll be back in like a week anyway. So they literally change these every week, so don't freak out. Next we've got Shipment 24/7 returning, replacing my all-time favourite, Shoot the Ship. Shipment, while not being the best map, actually received some changes in this patch as well to its spawn system, which we'll talk about later. It's always a shame to see Shoot the Ship leave, but 24/7 Shipment is really good for getting that experience. You just get so many kills on that map, you just rank up so quickly. So eventually when they decide to give us the 2x tier progression, like they said they would a little while ago, we've had both 2x weapon experience and regular experience, so it can't actually be that far away. Probably this weekend would be my guess. Winter Docks has also been removed since it's no longer Christmas. This is obviously appropriate. It's really hard to argue with this being removed. It's not Christmas anymore. We don't need the Christmas map. Even though it's cool, it's nice to see the Christmas Easter egg and stuff like that. It's a cute map and I like it a lot, but it's not Christmas anymore, so we can get rid of that one. Capture the Flag has also been added to the quick play game filter, which is actually pretty cool. I never got a chance to try it out while it was in the last update, but this should give everyone a chance to try it out. Hopefully it's enjoyable. I really do like Capture the Flag in some games, like Halo and other things like that. It can be a little bit shitty in other games, like Overwatch didn't really do Capture the Flag that well, and it was sort of not too fun, so we'll definitely see how this goes. I'll mention this here. We've also had some changes to the store with some pretty goofy additions this time around, which you can see here. We've got Executive Armory 3, which is a pretty cool collection here featuring the Fractured Forces, which looks, it's pretty clean. Like, I like the way this looks. It's on the FN, or the, what is it, that gun, the FAMAS in this game. I think it's what, the 5.56 something. I literally don't know what this gun's called. As well as the Black Betty, which looks super cool. Like, I love the gold trim on this. This looks really mean. Like, this probably isn't the most effective shotgun. Like, this one overall isn't super great, but, like, I just love the way this one looks. This would be an absolutely god tier purchase for me. Like, this is such a cool looking gun. I love it. Look at it. So cool. I love it. We've also been, for some reason, given this, which is the Bird of Prey. Where is it? Bird of Prey. Bird of Prey, which is this set you can see here, and it comes with this weapon.
That shit is fucking trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airways.
Like, I think you'll agree with me when I say this. What the is this? Like, what is going on here? Like, this is basically the class that I had to run the other day. It just looks so dumb, man. Big sniper scope, grenade launcher on the bottom. Oh, I love it. It's gross. Like, I just love that it looks so dumb. I love it. I'm not going to buy it, but I love it so much. Bless this eagle friend. Moving on to the real interesting stuff in this patch, we've got weapon balancing. I was calling out for this the other day, but it looks like I was right. We've actually received some nerfs to the MP5 and the M4A1. For the MP5, the following adjustments have been made. Reduced headshot multiplier and a small reduction to 10mm range. This is a fairly big deal. Like, we've been waiting for changes that bring these absolute monster guns back into line for like 4 patches now, so any of the tweaks that they add to them are always good. I feel like these changes are appropriate. I'm not 100% sure of the exact numbers behind this here. It's not like really specific. These patch notes are never super specific. It's never like 10% range reduction to the MP5's overall bullet damage, and you're like, okay, well, I can actually know what that means, so I can actually sort of work that out in my head. But with something like this, it's just like a small reduction to headshot damage. Okay. Like, I don't think it's going to be massively significant here, but a small reduction to 10mm ammo range will definitely make this slightly less effective at those longer ranges, so good news there. And a headshot multiplier reduction across the board is a pretty big deal. It's more of a noticeable change than you probably think it is. I do like these changes. The MP5 is still going to be an absolute monster and probably still one of the best guns in the game, but it'll be definitely worse than before. The changes for the M4A1 are as follows. A small damage decrease to reduce headshot effectiveness, and a small range decrease. Again, similar to the MP5, I'm waiting for more changes to these god guns for so long that it feels just so good to see them get nerfed finally. Perfect changes here. I'm not 100% sure of the exact numbers like with the MP5, but this will definitely decrease the lethality of the M4 overall and bring it closer to the Ram 7 and the Scar. There's no argument to be made that the M4 has been the best gun in the game since the beta, and I don't think that changes at all with these ones. But it's definitely nice to see them take a look at some of the more powerful weapons in the game and give them some adjusting. I do love that I called this though. Like, this has needed to happen for ages, and like to call it in the last video that we made about a patch update and be like, they need to make the M4 changes, boss. And then they did, man. It's so good. Next, we've actually got some buffs, which are to the M13, which are a range increase, a small reduction to horizontal recoil, small damage increase to boost headshot effectiveness. Oh, so good. I love weapon buffs, man. Something new to play with in the game is actually the best thing about patch notes. I always look for the buffs and weapon changes straight away, man. Like, buffs to the M13 are a big deal, and I have no doubt that we'll still see a lot of M4s and MP5s, but I love these weapon changes, man. They would have specified if this was actually a small range increase, so like they've done with the other ones, it just says range increase rather than like a small range increase. So for them to improve it significantly, like, is a pretty big deal. I've never been much of an M13 guy because the damage at range has always been fairly lackluster, fairly crappy. Same with the recoil, it's a little bit too much for my liking. Plus we got a damage increase. Like, this is definitely at the front of the queue for a class setup video now. Like, expect a video on the M13 on Monday because I'll be doing some testing this week to see how we go. I expect this to shoot up massively to be part of the best guns in the game list, but I'd imagine it probably like 3rd or 4th best assault rifle now, but we will see and we'll give it some testing. There are also some fairly minor changes to the crossbow. It's now 5 to 6 thermite bolts to take down some of the kill streaks. I was never actually able to hit them because I'm bad, but now it'll be more difficult to take down the support helicopter and the chopper gunner with the crossbow. And lastly, some bug fixes and spawn changes. They fixed an exploit in ground war via ATV. I have no idea what that's about, but good stuff. Always like to see bug fixes and stuff like that. They fixed one of the COD League skins. I think it was actually going invisible at certain ranges, so that's pretty funny. The shipment spawns have been tuned to reduce the frequency of instant death and spawn traps. I'm not really sure there's actually much they can do about this. Like, you've played shipment and you think about it, and there's like not really much that they can do about spawn trapping on a map that's about as big as the room that I'm recording in now. So hopefully this does make shipment more playable, especially since they added the 24/7 playlist back in. The spawns have been adjusted around the edge for all the game modes and new spawn logic for domination. So it's good to see these changes. I'm not exactly sure of the effect, but we'll definitely test it out in the coming days and we'll see if they've improved or not. And yeah, guys, that about wraps up everything in this mini update for Modern Warfare. There is actually some really good stuff here. Looking forward to seeing more updates in the future. Like, I think Season 1 ends in about 13-ish, 14, 13 days. So hopefully we do see some more double XP and tier progression between now and then, because I actually haven't capped my battle pass yet. I think I'm like level 65 or something like that. So wish me luck, dudes. Hopefully they do put that in and we get as high as we can go. Thanks very much for watching this, guys. I do massively appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure you do leave a like and subscribe. If you're new around here, it only takes 2 seconds to make my day. So make sure you're being a good person today. Do me a favor, help me out, and subscribe for me. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye!